Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our ATLAS.ti sponsored explorations in ATLAS.ti. My name is Juliana Barabbas, and I'm going to right away welcome everyone. Our attendees are starting to arrive. I'm going to hand things right over to Munirah Mohamad, who is our Director of Training at ATLAS in Germany. And Munirah, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, of course. I would like to start welcoming all of you to this webinar series. And as Juliana introduced, I'm Munirah Mohamad, Director of ATLAS.ti, and I'm very pleased that the series of webinars is organized by the University of British Columbia and sponsored by ATLAS.ti, software for qualitative data analysis. The International Qualitative Research Toolkit offers two webinar series. So we have explorations in ATLAS.ti and we have insights in qualitative research methods. Today, we have a chance to take a look and learn how we can take advantage of ATLAS.ti in our research. Particularly, our guest speakers will share how they use ATLAS.ti and what is the outcome of their great job, their projects they are doing right now. So we really believe, and we strongly believe as ATLAS.ti, that it's very important, to support these kind of projects and spread the knowledge all around the world and help qualitative researchers from different areas, different backgrounds, and different even countries, cultural values, learn from ATLAS.ti and learn from qualitative research. And before I pass the microphone to Juliana, I just wanted to say a few announcements. If after this session you are interested in learning ATLAS.ti, keep in mind that we have a bunch of free webinars, totally free for you, that you can learn how to use ATLAS.ti Web, or how to do qualitative research, or how to do literature review with ATLAS.ti. So please feel free to visit our website and take a look all free special topics and general topics we are offering for you. And finally, just because you are interested in qualitative research and probably ATLAS.ti, keep in mind that just because you participate in this session, you have a special discount for our courses, premium courses we have, and licenses. So just drop an email to me, training@support.atlas.ti.com, and I would be pleased to share those discount coupons as I mentioned and promised to you in this session. So without further ado, once again, welcome all of you in this session, and Juliana Barabbas, the power of this session and moderation is in your hands.
Thank you so much. I am so pleased to welcome all of you who are attending. I just am going to mention a few housekeeping items. We're going to be taking questions by the Q&A module. So if you have a question, please type it into the Q&A box at any time through the presentation. We're going to be running about 40 to 45 minutes on the presentation, and there'll be about 10 minutes at the end for you to take your questions. So I'll be reading those out on your behalf for the sake of our recording, and we'll welcome any comments and questions through that Q&A box, which should be at the bottom of your Zoom screen in your webinar for those who are attending. So welcome again. I just would like to give you now a bit more about our presenters, who we are so happy to have with us today. And one more item that I'll mention just quickly before we get going. The International Qualitative Research Toolkit was conceived in part because of the Thinking Qualitatively conference, which ATLAS also sponsored this year. And I'll mention it a little bit more at the end. The recordings for that conference, highly successful, also still available until January of 2022. So I'll mention that again at the end. Very rich set of resources for those who are wanting to know more about qualitative research. And I thank ATLAS again for their ongoing support, and University of Indiana. Collaborative qualitative data analysis using ATLAS.ti Cloud, a case of cyberbullying. Ani and Munirah forgive my pronunciation, Ani, holds a PhD in law from Universiti Teknologi MARA, Malaysia, and is currently a senior lecturer at the School of Law and research fellow at the Center for Testing, Measurement and Appraisal, Universiti Utara Malaysia. Her research areas are information technology, law, cyber law, and cybercrimes. Yusramizza holds a PhD in criminal law from University of Lancaster, UK, and is currently a senior lecturer at School of Law and research fellow, ASEAN. I should have checked on pronunciation, Yusra. Research Institute for Corporate Governance, Universiti Utara Malaysia. Her research areas are criminal law, crimes and justice, and cybercrimes. Please welcome our presenters coming to us from Malaysia, Ani and Yusra. Ani and Yusra, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Juliana, and thank you also, Naringa, for inviting us. And we're so excited to be here at the Explorations webinar series. And today, as has been mentioned by Juliana, we'll be presenting about how our research team harness the power of ATLAS.ti Web for the purpose of qualitative analysis for our research. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay. Yep. I assume everybody can see this. Can you confirm if you can see this or not?
We're good.
Okay, all right, great. So, yeah, first and foremost, it is our pleasure to be here. And why do I say that? Because in the past, both Yusramizza and I, we've been engaging a lot of ATLAS.ti for the purpose of our analysis for our other projects. But when ATLAS.ti Web, previously known as ATLAS.ti Cloud, came in the picture, we were so much excited and delighted that now we can overcome some of the problems that we have in the past. For example, we did on our own machines, and now we can work remotely, collaboratively, and what more during this pandemic. Okay, so the topic that we have chosen for the presentation today is collaborative qualitative data analysis using ATLAS.ti Web, case of cyberbullying. Okay, just a little bit of background before we dig further into our usage of the ATLAS.ti Web is because of the growing concern of bullying in the cyberspace. Okay, because it's taken from the word cyberbullying. Okay, cyber plus bullying, now it becomes cyberbullying. In the past, when people mention it in our face, for example, so it's a different feeling. But now, given the nature of cyberspace, given the nature of the internet, and what more during this pandemic that everybody all over the world are resorting to online because we need to settle a few, all our work routines, for example, which could happen anytime, anywhere, and it could happen to anyone, not only children, it could also happen to adults, yeah, and it can be committed by adults as well. It can be committed by children as well. Now, based on that, the background of our studies that this concern is also attracted the attention of the Malaysian government, whereby this project is funded by the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC in short, to study the adequacy of the Malaysian laws governing cyberbullying. So you will realize by now, both me and Yusramizza, we are from the School of Law of Universiti Utara Malaysia. So our specialty is on the cyber laws, cyber crimes. Okay, for that matter, we investigated the various laws governing cyberbullying, but not to go very deep into the project itself. I'm going to dive into the sample, okay, for the data sources for our analysis. We have interviewed 19 experts for this project, involving people from enforcement, people from advocates and solicitors, people from NGOs, from the academia, as well as from the health institutes. Okay? And all these 19 experts are the people who are stakeholders of the information about practices and trends and happenings or occurrences of cyberbullying, as well as the enforcement and regulators as well. Apart from that, we triangulated the data with an online survey involving 120 persons. Some of the questions are quantitative in nature, but what we want to focus on, in which we use ATLAS.ti web, is for the open-ended question in the online survey, upon which we ask, how do you think, or what do you propose for the government to do in case we want to deal with cyberbullying perpetrators as well as cyberbullying victims? Yeah. Now, one of our problems at that time, because this was towards the end of 2020 and early 2021, upon which our project was conducted. At that time, it was a very high cases of COVID-19 occurring in Malaysia, upon which we couldn't travel much. We couldn't even come to the office. We worked remotely. We even carried out the interviews remotely. And then the time has come when we have all the data in our hands. It comes to the stage that we have to analyze the data. Okay, so here is our problem. Here was our problem, upon which last time we could gather around in a meeting, and then we attend to the analysis, or we do the analysis on our ATLAS.ti desktop. But now we have ATLAS.ti web. Okay, now the greatest feature about ATLAS.ti web that captured our attention, and we decided finally to use it, is because we have a number of researchers in our project. In total, we have 6, but those involved in the qualitative analysis, there were 4 of us from the School of Law of our university. We found out, at that time, that ATLAS.ti web allows for collaborative analysis, in the sense that everybody can be logged into the same project, okay, and we can attend to our analysis. That's the best part. I think this feature is very awesome, because we finally attended to the analysis collaboratively among us, to achieve our research questions and objective. Okay. So what we did, these are the steps that we did. Number 1 is definitely we added the documents to ATLAS.ti web. Okay? I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the session. I do not intend to teach how to use ATLAS.ti web today, but it's more like Yusra and I, we wish to share our experiences, what we have gone through, what were the problems that we encountered, and what are the benefits of using ATLAS.ti web. Okay? And not so much to indulge on the research itself. We wish to show you what happened in the project and what we did for the purpose of our analysis. Okay. Now, number 1, we added the documents, 19 interview transcripts plus 1 from the open-ended questions from the online survey that we have conducted from the 120 respondents. We added to the projects. Okay, by we I mean I, because as the project leader for the analysis project, analysis stage, I created the project in my ATLAS.ti web account. And number 2, I invited. Number 1, I added the documents. Number 2, I invited my research collaborators, who are actually my project members. I invited 3 of them. So what we did, I'm just gonna swipe through here. I hope you can still see my screen. Okay, this is the interface of my ATLAS.ti web. As you can see, there are a number of projects that we have already initiated and completed the analysis using ATLAS.ti web. These are actual projects, except for this one. This is for demonstration. There are some projects, some in the Malaysian language, some in the English. And the best part is you can see the icons here, the avatar here. You can see our research collaborators. Okay, a few projects. Okay, you can see different collaborators, and the one that I want to focus on is this one. Okay, the advocacy of cyberbullying laws in Malaysia. We put in 20 documents. Okay, and these are the number of quotes and quotations. And as you can see, these are the research collaborators. This me, it's you. Okay, and then we have Dr. Azlina, Dr. Ahmad Shamsul, and this is Dr. Yusra. Okay, and what I meant by adding the collaborators is after creating the project and adding the documents, I would go to project settings, and I would invite my team members. Okay, just very simple, and this intuitive interface of ATLAS.ti Web makes it even to confirm our decision to use the ATLAS.ti Web for the purpose of our analysis. So you can see these are my research collaborators. Okay, let me just swipe back. Okay, and number 3 would be the determination of coding strategy. Okay, what we mean by determination of coding strategy is we had 4 research questions for the project, and we have 4 researchers. So what we did, we divided each one of us to take on one research question. Okay, so throughout the 20 documents, I would be working on question number 1. Okay, so I will be digging in through all the documents, focusing on only research question 1. And another friend would be working on the second research question, so on and so forth until the 4th research question. So now we know that we do not need to go through the entire document, but we still, for example, we cannot control people, we cannot control the informants telling us, for example, we ask question number 1, they might be responding to question number 4, for example, and in the transcription, it might mention at question number 4, but it's actually my answer for research question number 1. Okay, so for that matter, we are also able to see each other's work. Okay, which brings me to stage number 4, okay, which is coding and commenting. After we have conducted the analysis, or during our coding strategy, for example, you can see the wordings here. And what is nice, okay, is that we are able to see each other's work based on the numbers here. So you can see if it was me, then it would be my face, it would be some other friends' faces as well. Now, what I like most about the coding process is the ability to take a look at each other's works, so that I will know that we are working in the same direction. Okay, that is most important. And I would be able to see any mistakes made by my friends. They would be able to see any mistakes I made, okay? So that we can tally, okay, the coding structure at the time that we are conducting the coding process and commenting as well. We still communicate, even though remotely. Now, this is a very interesting feature, okay, to my mind and to my friends' minds as well, because we found that we do not need to be physically located at one location. We can see each other's work and correct them if there is such need. Okay? And of course, because we approach the data purely inductively, without any priori concepts in our mind, we give the meaning or true meaning to what the participants say. Definitely, there will be some overlapping and redundancies, which brings me to step number 5, which is we had to do reduction of codes, overlappings and redundancies, upon which I will take a look at the list of codes, and probably we will rename or replace the codes with any one that is relevant for my friends' projects, as well as my friends' coding system, as well as mine as well. But for that purpose, step number 6 would be to export the project to ATLAS.ti desktop for visualization and reporting. Why we do this is because ATLAS.ti desktop provides more visualization options, yeah, for the purpose of reporting. There are some publications coming up for this, yeah, because it's quite recently completed. I'm unable to share the papers that we have come up with, yeah, to demonstrate this as well. The findings for the research, we can summarize it. I think Yusra will help me to summarize it after this. How do I say this? It is to just to give a brief overview of what happens next. Okay, this is our experience with the little steps that we manage. There are more experienced users out there who probably can share your own thoughts about what we did, and probably you can also give us some advice after that. So just to sum up, yeah, because this is the part that I will step away, yeah, to give way for my friend Yusra to share her part, is I will just do a little bit of sum up, yeah, what we did for the project. Okay, number one is we created the project, and then we added the documents, and then we invited the project members, upon which we decided on the coding strategy. Okay, based on our discussion as well, each one of us will take one research question. Okay, and then we proceeded to do the coding and revisit the list of codes for the purpose of reduction of codes overlapping and redundancies. Okay. Having said that, I'm gonna pass over the session to Yusra.
Right. All right, thank you very much, Ani, and also not to be forgetting Miss Juliana. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So I truly feel very honored to be here with all of you. So it's my turn to be sharing some parts of the research. So with regard to the benefits that our research team have attained by using ATLAS.ti Web, we experienced that ATLAS.ti Web is not only a tool for supporting qualitative data analysis, it's also a companion that has accompanied our research team from the conceptions to the end of our project. With ATLAS.ti Web, coordinating the coding and progress of work could be done in real time. The margin area shows all the work that we have done on any document. So we could easily see which the segments of data have been saved as quotations, which codes are associated to each quotations, who created each quotation and coding, and more. We have been able to comment and rectify each other's work. And with regard to the other benefit that we have attained, further, the features available in ATLAS.ti Web are highly useful for the needs and purposes of our study. ATLAS.ti Web has really facilitated our qualitative data analysis. Thus, we did not have to spend time learning how to use the software, but rather could focus right on analyzing our data. It has actually enhanced our ability to undertake data analysis by presenting multiple means and ways of retrieving, sorting, and interrogating raw data. We could select any segments of data that has captured our interest or might assist us answer our research questions. And we could save these data segments as quotations. We could create as many quotations as we wanted, and each quotation could be of any size we wish. So it's very beneficial for us, but at the same time, we have enjoyed the experience of collaborative qualitative analyzing. We could easily organize our codes in ATLAS.ti Web by assigning a color to each code. If you can refer to the slide that has been portrayed by Ani, so we have seen so many colors, very brightful colors, so it will be very good for us to be having an interesting experience using this ATLAS.ti Web. With the new updates to ATLAS.ti Web, we could choose from even more color options to distinguish our different codes. Since ATLAS.ti Web accepts a wide variety of data formats, it has encouraged us drawing qualitative analytical connections between many different materials, from video and images to survey data and to case studies transcript. So this is very important to be considered by many researchers, because we will be having abundant material. So using this ATLAS.ti Web, it will be making our experience of analyzing enjoyable. So we will be dealing with this kind of material in a right way and also an enjoyable way. With ATLAS.ti Web, our research team could together engage in all analysis related tasks. So we could conduct teamwork even in challenging period of time, including during COVID-19 outbreak. So we can be having the collaborative work by staying at home. At the same time, we can be engaging to one another. And now coming to the other important aspect relating to our findings. Maybe this is also an important sharing to be considered, because we would like to be having this kind of sharing for the purpose of demonstrating the potential aspect of significant for this usage of ATLAS.ti Web. So based on the findings, so we have found several important points, particularly this one. The first one, no criminality for the traditional and cyberspace bullying. So in Malaysia, so there is no any specific act relating to this cyberbullying. At the same time, there is no any specifications of this traditional bullying and also cyberspace bullying as a crime. So this means that there is no coverage of this criminal justice system with regard to its jurisdictions or authorities to handle this kind of cyberbullying. And due to non-existence of any specific law dealing with cyberbullying in Malaysia, but we can be having certain general provisions in certain laws. For instance, we have the cyber laws and also the criminal laws to be inclusive of the Penal Code and Computer Crimes Act, for instance. But based on this kind of existence of these general provisions that can be applied for the cases involving the cyberbullying, but we have to be relying on the ambit of these legislative provisions for the coverage and also the applications of this kind of law to the acts pertaining to cyberbullying. And we have also referred to some kinds of international instruments. So we have referred to the international treaties and agreement, and we have found there is no any specific provision that can be considered very relevant to cyberbullying. But at the same time, there are also some coverage of the provisions, but there is no specific provision relating to the punishment and also the remedies provided to the victim of cyberbullying. But at the same time, we have noted that Malaysia has not ratified or assessed this kind of international instrument. So having said this kind of coverage in this particular international instrument, so we have recognized that there is no such comprehensive coverage of the punishment or the criminal sanctions in that particular reference or this kind of international instrument. But at the same time, we have found that these international documents, even this kind of very important document to be considered, but there is no any specific criminalizations that can be founded in order to be referred by many countries. But this is to be considered as the main finding of our research with regard to the international instrument. And then maybe I would like to share with you the important recommendation that we have created and we have put forward for the Malaysian Commissions of Multimedia and Communication. So this agency is the main agency dealing with cyber cases and also the other reports with regard to the cyber offenses in Malaysia. So based on the findings, using this wonderful ATLAS.ti web, so we have put forward these kind of recommendations. The first one, the researchers recommend the creation of a specific law to address bullying. And second, the researchers suggest the establishment of working committee as focal point for coordination of cyberbullying cases. So based on these two major suggestions, so we have detailed out all these kind of stages and also the other features for the specific law. And at the same time, we have came with this kind of recommendations with regard to the important elements that can be covering the adversaries, menstrual, and the others with regard to the criminal offense of the cyberbullying. So this is my final remark. So I would like to recommend everyone to be using this ATLAS.ti web, because I personally found this medium or this platform is very important and also very beneficial for facilitating our research. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Yusra. I would like to add something with regards to this, because we did not intend to go very detailed into the findings, right? What we want to share again would be the steps, because what reflections after what we did with the other researchers, we found out that there are some rooms for improvement of the strategies that we have conducted earlier. Okay, for example, the determination of the coding strategy, because I have also been involved in in a number of other projects before, but from our experience in the cyberbullying projects, what is the way forward? Way forward for us so that we can work on improving future projects would be number 3 here. Okay, number 3 here, it would be, there are an abundance of coding strategies that we can use, and from our experience using the desktop version as well, we have decided to use the numbering system, because there are a few alternatives that we can use. We can use prefixes system. For example, my friend, he might be looking into law perspective. I might be looking into the factors perspective. My other friend could be looking into the international instrument perspective, for example. So we could put prefixes, okay? And what we did for this cyberbullying project is we use numbers, okay? Because research question number 1, we use it for for all codes that begins with number 1. So all the codes will be the code name, the code name. And I involved in research question number 2, so I will be working 2 for that. And the third strategy that we find out that we're proposing, yeah, if you are also interested to use this at the CI web in future, okay, would be to use colors as well, because we did not specifically use colors because we were rushing with time at that time. That particular research project, the entire interviews, analysis and reporting, it took 1 month. Yeah? But given more time, yeah, we could work on better strategies, such as using colors, yeah, to depict specific prefixes. Yeah? Based on that, because we're using the inductive approach, purely inductive approach, it could mean later on what I have identified for number 1 could actually be applicable for number 3 instead. Okay, so it would allow for more room for making sense, okay, of whatever code names that we have identified earlier. Okay, the other thing that number 1 is coding strategy. Number 2, that we after conducting this research, we also reflected among the researchers what else can be done. Okay, what else can be done would be the commenting process, because at that time, some we have added the comments, some we leave out the comments because we understand that is what we intended. But the problem that we face towards going for for reporting, okay, was that when we are reporting, we might be referring to the code name, for example, but then my friend could intend something else. Okay, so we plan for future projects that we can further enhance the commenting for the codings, commenting for the quotations, for example, so that we can further understand, and we take a how do I say this? We take for us to better synchronize, okay, what we wanted to achieve with our friends. At that point, okay, we understood what our friends want, but in future, in the event we want to replicate the entire process for another project, for example, we definitely go for further commenting, and for the purpose of enriching what we wanted to achieve for our research projects. Okay, and further reflections. Okay, further reflections. I do find that reflections are very important. Okay, so that we can improve further. Okay, not to say that our project we find it not useful. We find it very useful, but what else can be done would be how or what. How do the researchers find the project to be useful? Okay, and what are the problems that they have encountered? Okay, so based on that, we are also working on one other paper, okay, to itemize, okay, the steps that we have used, and for the reflections from the researchers, which I am not ready to share here, but to say that from this one particular project, the way how we use ATLAS.ti Web, it opened up other opportunities for us as well. For example, this sharing session today, as well as for our other projects as well. Okay, and I was thinking because if Yusra can help me here, is in the event, okay, because you did mention one of the benefits is that we can follow each other's work. There was one time when one of our researchers was not to say falling behind, but because we support each other, yeah, because of we're supporting each other, we also help to go through the data, okay, and we are able to help there as well. Okay, so it's not a matter of I'm working on my own research questions per se. We are also advocating here that the word collaborative is very powerful. Okay? The word collaborative allows us not only to work on our own parts or our own task that has been assigned, that we can also fill in to facilitate our friends, okay, in that particular project. Because at the end of the day, what we want is that full research report, yeah, full research report to show that we have already answered the research questions and also objectives. Okay, Yusra, would you like to share something else? Maybe I have missed out because we did the reflections, and probably I am missing out some things.
All right, maybe I will be adding something with regard to this one. The reminders to be given for the other researchers. So you are very correct, Ani, because I have considered this one ATLAS.ti Web as an alert system, because we have seen the progress of our friends based on this kind of platform. So we have no need to be asking them constantly, but we can trace their progress based on the usage of this ATLAS.ti Web. Because, for instance, from time to time, we can see the coding process. So if one of the researchers has not gone through this process, maybe they have forgotten to code, so we can trace from the beginning. So it can be an alert system for me. So it's wonderful as compared to the previous traditional collaborative research. We have to be reminding, we have to be asking them orally, or at the same time, want to be having the progress of this report, we will be asking them personally. But this kind of ATLAS.ti web will enable our monitoring and coordinating all this kind of analyzing process. That is, Ani, Munirah, I give back to you.
Okay. All right. Having been involved in this research project and given the trust by MCMC of Malaysia, it gives us great pleasure to inform all the audience here as well, and Juliana, as well as ATLAS.ti team, Naringa, and everybody else as well, that this project has been completed. And our report has made its way to the Malaysian government, and we did introduce ATLAS.ti web for the purpose of our analysis, and it is making an impact. We can't say the impact is immediate. We can't say that our proposal or our recommendations is being put immediately, but this project could never be completed if we had not decided to use ATLAS.ti web. We could, but the impact would not be the same. Okay? Not only we completed it in a short period of time, by using ATLAS.ti web, we managed to harness the power of the technology, harness the power of this application for completing the project on time, and also recommending some actionable recommendations to the Malaysian government. And we take this opportunity to thank our researchers as well. We have 6 project members. If I may mention their names: Professor Dr. Huda Ibrahim, Associate Professor Dr. Osman, Dr. Nur Azlina Makno, Dr. Ahmad Shamsul, Dr. Yusramizza, and myself. We are very honored to have decided to use ATLAS.ti web. And for that matter, do we have some more time? Maybe I just want to conclude, okay, or summarize what is the thing that we advocate. Okay? There are times when some other things that are not included in this presentation today on cyberbullying, but I just would like to say a little bit about the huge potential of using this during the COVID-19 challenges, whereby not only we can work remotely during this challenging time, but people are saying that we will be living in this new normal. Moving forward, this will be the new normal. Even if we have done or completed with whatever challenges that we might have in future, but the way that we have been living, this will be the way forward. And I do believe, given the great features of ATLAS.ti, which I believe the developers of ATLAS.ti as well will add on more features, probably Naringa can confirm with us after this, is the potential of using it for a multitude of research areas, a multitude of research strategies that you might be using. And I do even have friends who are already using ATLAS.ti web for their literature review, because they have a lot of PDF documents that they want to upload, right? Just to conclude a little bit more about our project on cyberbullying here, given the chance, we would not change anything that we have decided before. And this is a little bit of experience. We're not very experts, but we are still learning. Okay, even today we're still learning. Some features in ATLAS.ti web we have not even maximized its usage. And given this little experience that we use it, we find it useful. What more if we can find more features in the future? Okay, and another thing, I would like to take a look at the Q&A probably, or maybe we can, yeah. So I think I've already received an alert from the organizers. So I will just show my last slide here. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Thank you so much. That is what we wanted to share about our project.
Thank you so much, Yusra and Ani, for that very thoughtful and considered exploration of how to use Atlas in what is a very important subject matter, and obviously the impacts that are being felt. It's wonderful to see. So we did have a question early in, and you may have covered it a little bit, but let's go back to it and just review a little bit from one of our attendees. Can the data, documents, codes, quotations, memos on the web be synced to the desktop version? And it seems like it's an interesting check assumptions kind of question, right?
Actually, the answer is more appropriately to be answered by Narendra, but let me just respond a little bit. Why? Because it's a very common question that I get from my friends as well, from my users, other users of ATLAS.ti as well, because they know that we're using ATLAS.ti Web, is that I know it's a one-way export, yeah? But I'm not aware if it can be imported from desktop version, okay? Because the question relates to the projects that we create in web. Can it be synchronized to the desktop version? I know it's a one-way export. I'm not aware whether from the desktop it can be exported to the web or not. But so therefore, my answer would be, it will not be synchronized, but there is a way around it so that we can bring our project from ATLAS.ti Web, yeah, to the desktop version. Probably Narendra from ATLAS.ti can help to clarify this matter,
Yes.
whether it's in
Sure
the
thing. Thank you so much for allowing me to jump in this conversation, and I'm very pleased to announce that we launched recently a new update for ATLAS.ti Web. So now you can export from ATLAS.ti Desktop and import in ATLAS.ti Web, and you can export, as we used to do, export from ATLAS.ti Web to ATLAS.ti Desktop. But I'm not sure if I get very well the word synchronize, because what I understand synchronize, that is automatically and constantly is synchronizing. It's not like that, because when you are, for example, coding in team in ATLAS.ti Web version, definitely you are doing at the same time all together, and in 3 seconds it gets updated and you see the code, what Ani did or what I did and so on. But when you want to move from one product to another product, so it's not exactly that is synchronized, because the desktop version is not a web-based version, is local. So it's on your computer, and there are advantages and disadvantages of doing so. And what I wanted to, as well, to warn, let's say I really like ATLAS.ti Web, and you can do this coding and all this group work is fantastic. It's the best software I know. But when you want to do maybe networks or some advanced analysis tools, you can very easily export to ATLAS.ti Desktop and finish all the analysis. So, but if, let's say, someone, you are already ATLAS.ti users and you have been working with the desktop version for years, and now after this webinar you say, oh my God, I love ATLAS.ti Web, it's my dream to use it. So now you can export from desktop to a web, but keep in mind that you may lose a little bit of information. What kind of information and why? So let's say that you can analyze images, videos, audios in ATLAS.ti Desktop, but you can't do in ATLAS.ti Web. So if you import a project with images, ATLAS.ti Web would say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to work with images, right? So you can import, and I would recommend to do once. This option that you can import from desktop to web is just when you move your project, but it's not back and forth every day, no, because you will lose some information and you don't want to lose it. But if you want to work with desktop version Windows and Mac, you can back and forth on daily basis or on every hour if you wish. No? And about wishes, that we definitely we are working very hard in implementing new things, new features, amazing features. I don't want to advance too much because I want to have this surprise moment for all of you. But anyway, if someone, let's say, want to try it out, if I can share for a moment the screen, I want to show just one thing.
While Munirah is sharing that, I think it's a very thoughtful improvement or an update in ATLAS.ti Web that you now can import and export projects. I think it would be a very great advantage for the users as well here.
Yeah, so fantastic. And keep in mind, whatever you may need, if you feel that, you know what, it's missing networks and I really need this, or whatever the most craziest ideas pops to your mind, please open ATLAS.ti Web, try it out on your own demo version and send us feedback. Your feedback is crucial. You know, saying, I need this, I need that. And you, under ATLAS.ti features, if you click here, you will see what is the difference between desktop and web, and you can always suggest what you may need. So this is very important for us to know, because we have an amazing group of developers who are doing fabulous job, but they need to know what we need, right? And I include myself as a researcher. So feel free always to write us an email and suggest ideas. And yes, we are working hard and we want to implement more options, more tools, and include artificial intelligence that can help a lot, definitely coming soon. So yes, we are investing a lot of energy and effort to make it grow. ATLAS.ti Web is our baby, no? That is growing step by step. So thank you so much to both of you, my dear presenters, of wonderful presentation. I really enjoyed a lot, and see how you took advantage of this software. So now I leave the power to the presenters.
Just to respond a little bit, about what Munirah has mentioned here, I do find there is a huge potential for ATLAS.ti Web. For example, some organizations do not allow for softwares to be installed on their office computers. There are reasons for that, which we're not going to venture. So there was one time when I come to know about that restriction, but he or she was able to complete her analysis project using ATLAS.ti Web, which is very interesting. I was thinking it's optional, but now it's not optional because it's the tool that can help with a lot of things. Okay, it's outside the scope of cyberbullying, but it is a huge potential that I think would be useful as well. We can carry our analysis project at any device that has internet connection. Okay, that's I think a very good thing. I'm gonna return the session to Juliana.
Wonderful. We do still have a few minutes left before we need to wrap up and let everyone get back to their normal routines. Are there any other questions from our attendees? I'll maybe give you a moment on that. And just perhaps while we are waiting for people to formulate their questions, I'm going to share a screen for a moment as well. Again, a thank you to ATLAS, to UBCO, where I am from, University of British Columbia, Okanagan, the School of Education Inquiry Methodology from the University of Indiana. A thank you to all of these organizations. We do have an upcoming presentation on October 12th. Our next Explorations in ATLAS.ti presentation is going to be from Julia Glusing and Ken Riopel, Strategies for Data Analysis Using Networks to Obtain Meaningful Results. If you are in an engineering field, this may be of particular interest for you, and we're going to be actively promoting that as well. That's coming up on October 12th. And you can take a look at that offering as well as some of our other offerings that are upcoming on our Insight series on our UBCO International Qualitative Research Toolkit website. So I want to say thank you again to Naringa, to Ani, and to Yusra for that thoughtful presentation. I'm not seeing any other questions. I know, Naringa, that you thought you might have a few. Do you have any questions for Yusra and Ani that might just help us close out here for today?
Great. To be honest, I have maybe too many questions, so that's why I feel a little bit right now overwhelmed. And I said, oh my God, where's my starting point? And I said, I better save all this in my private conversation later on with both of them, because definitely I wanted to take advantage and invite to collaborate with us in some research hub that we are launching in ATLAS.ti Web. And I think that it would be amazing collaboration between all of us. And questions per se, yes, I do have, but very methodological questions, probably not so related with this ATLAS.ti and applications, because definitely I feel very familiar with the software. And I probably want to take advantage and invite all of you, those who are connecting and making this effort, you know, to find some time to connect and learn from both doctors that were presenting today. Don't be afraid to try it out. Don't be afraid to practice. Many years ago, I personally as well downloaded demo versions of different softwares, and I played around and said, oh my God, fantastic, it didn't help me or not. So I think that the best you can do, take advantage of technology nowadays. I'm a huge fan of taking advantage of not only ATLAS.ti, I love Trello for organization things, and Asana and so on. So I really think that nowadays we have a bunch of amazing tools available for us. And why don't we take advantage of ATLAS.ti Web? And again, be aware of all trainings that we are offering. We are offering about teamwork. We have a specific free webinar organized by product specialist Susanne Fries. So if you go to our website, you can see and register. She teaches once per month in English. And if you want to explore how you can, I don't know, learn specifics like how to analyze tweets in ATLAS.ti, or how to do virtual research on ATLAS.ti. So a bunch of, I'm just mentioning a few of options that we have, and we are pleased as well to hear what are your needs. Whatever ideas pops to your mind, if you want more specific webinars, come to me, write to me, and I will be pleased to evaluate this and make it possible, no? Because I really believe that we have to make this effort all around the world to provide free training and help each other as researchers, sharing what we learned, where we made mistakes, because the best way to learn through mistakes, right? And not only manuals can be helpful, but not always. So it's great that we are in this network and we are sharing the knowledge. So once again, thank you both of you, Ani and Yusra, for making possible to learn from you. It was my great pleasure. I know how busy schedules you are, but you made it. And I really strongly appreciate this. And for the rest of all of you who are attending, remember that just because you in this webinar, you have a special discount for all products we have in ATLAS.ti. Just in case if you're interested, drop me an email, training@support.atlas.ti.com. I will write you right away to all who are here in chat. And yeah, I hope that we will meet again in other webinar series, general ones or on explorations in ATLAS.ti. And yeah, I wish you all the best to the great speakers, to the amazing moderator, and to all of you, the best of luck to your personal and professional life. So from my part, just have a nice day, evening, or afternoon, depending from what part you are connecting.
Wonderful, and wonderful closing comments, Naringa. I'll remind everyone as well, if you have others in your network who would like to take a look at this webinar, it will be available on our archive site as well. And do keep your eye on that site for new and upcoming offerings as we go forward in both insights and explorations, including Dr. Fries, who also has the role of Cactus softwares in our archive with IQRT. Thank you again, Ani and
Juliana, do I have 1 minute?
Yes, yes, you do, absolutely.
Naringa, Juliana, even though Yusra and I have presented on ATLAS.ti Web today, we are also avid users of ATLAS.ti other versions as well, other products as well. So you can expect to hear more from us. And probably, Yusra, would you like to say something in 1 minute?
Okay, I think this is the not the finalizing stage, but we have to be considering all these kind of features. So having considered all these wonderful features of ATLAS.ti Web, I highly recommend everyone to be using this, trying this, and exploring it. So this will be wonderful and will be beneficial to everyone. Thank you very much, and see you again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.